Howdy y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is a 955i Triumph, and the first symptom was the starter just going bzzz, and that was because this was the starter that went to it. Teeth were all worn down because it got stuck or a tooth broke. Perhaps. We don't know exactly which came first. But what we do know is there's a couple chunks missing out of there. I ordered a new one of these, or not new one, but one off of eBay. But it wasn't the right one, even though it was very similar. And then I've discovered that there's like several of these, and actually ones from other models of bikes, also different displacements. They're similar, but it's really hard to find a definitive, this, that, or the other, I guess, about it, unless you take the VIN number and get a brand new one or something. I don't know. But anyway, so built this up with some tungsten steel from a welding wire feed, and kind of cut teeth into it. And in order to see, there's a difference between these two. I didn't realize at first. I got this starter also. And the black one is the one that I got off of eBay also. And so they look the same except for colors, but they're not the same. There's just like little differences in the distance right there on these little snout ends. These ones came off of this starter. I swapped them over to this starter because this one was the new one in better shape, and then it had the teeth in it that were still good, because I realized how short this was going to come up. This starter would have engaged just like barely. It would have spun it off of there and ground out. Anyway, so in order to gain that distance back, I swapped the end plates, and let's see here. That gave me a little bit of ground, but after doing that, I still discovered that the shaft is actually longer on this one. So I swapped the extra washers to the outside, which makes this run inboard a little farther. And between the two, it gets about right to the edge, so I think it's going to be okay. But I kept wondering what the hell is the problem, because it sounded like it was trying to turn backwards. It was just bzz, click, 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 zzz, and sprag gear. But I pulled the sprag out, and R&R'd it. It had gotten really hot. Hi! Say hi to you too. See how I did that? Sounds good. Alright, we'll be right there. Let's see here. So we went on a trike ride the other day on the trike to Damascus, Oregon. It's like 35 miles from here, 40 miles. A little ways. It was fun. I saw my aunt. Okay, anyway, back to the story about those limey Brits. So that's how I got to this point with starter issue. I think I've got enough meat on the teeth to connect to here, and I believe that's tungsten. That was hard to cut those down into there. I ended up using power tools on it, seriously. So I think it'll hold up. Anyway, so the snouts were changed here to get some issue. I'm done with that part. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. It's turning over backwards. I'm like, well, and I looked online. I found online on YouTube, and I found some references to the starters turning backwards, and I finally actually it was in a forum through Google. I had to read it, but it was about if you were to get the brush plate out of alignment when you got it going back together, but they were still making contact and they were in the wrong spots, it would turn backwards. So I assumed I'd done that, and I think I did have the position of the brushes down in there. Oops, kind of janky. But now that I finally have just decided to back up and take both of these completely apart, what do we see here? They are 1/80th spaced opposed, because there's how they are. The plates would match up to go in. Grounds there. This one grounds there on that one. So on top of the length of the shaft with the splined ends, in conjunction with the reach of the snout and how far it goes in, they've also swapped the positive and negatives on the brush plates when these things are so similar and close in size. You know, from a design standpoint, it's not like they just, we're going to design something from scratch every time we design something. They reuse the same parts over and over. So to make these many little changes on a starter that is essentially the same is ridiculous. That's just got to be messing with people. It's going to make like it really difficult to find just the part you need when they could have used one starter that was exactly the same on all of them if they wanted to, but then there'd be a huge aftermarket probably, and they wouldn't sell as many new starters, I guess, because really, you know, the business model, right? Damn you, Breton, damn you. Well, the young upstart from America has discovered your little ploy here, and now that I'm going to switch the proper plate into the proper plate holding, backing, bearing, whatever, into this part, so that the power will go the right way and this will turn this way instead of going like this and going round and round and round and round and round. Because that's what it was doing. So if you're messing with Triumph starters and it's turning backwards, the brush plates are swapped around the other way. So that could very well be why. It might not be that it wasn't assembled correctly and was out of whack. It's just designed in there. Odd. Okay. Guess that's all I got. Take care.